Hello everyone, welcome to Career Chronicles. This is Aishwarya Sabakar. Today we have Divya who's working in AMD, so we'll get to know about her journey, some tips and strategies in order to get into AMD. Before that, how are you doing, Divya?
I'm great, Aishwarya. Thank you so much. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Cool. So I hope we can start up with an introduction from your side.
Sure. So, as you already introduced me, I'm Divya Sundarajan. So, I finished my master's in software engineering, which is an integrated course from Vellore Institute of Technology. It's basically a 5 years course. And I currently work in AMD, and my skill sets for now is Python and Java. And then I also work in the UI front end.
Cool.
That's the small introduction.
Yeah. So how did you land in this job specifically?
Okay, so I am a regular student at college, and we all know that we all go through placements and stuff during our last semester in college. So even I am such a kid who got placed from the placements that were provided from VIT. So it was not a easy, it was not a easy cakewalk to land in AMD because I had to almost go through 12 different companies interview and then I landed in AMD. So the journey was little hard, but then it is all worth at the end.
Cool. So how many rounds you had in order to get into AMD?
Okay. So AMD basically had three sets of round. So before AMD, I attended a lot of interviews from other companies where they usually keep a programming round. They will give you a programming round, and then in case if you crack the programming round, they will call you for interviews. This is how basically a normal interview works in any company. But then since AMD was one such company that came from the college point of view, so my experience was a little smooth with AMD because I didn't have to go through any coding round, which was our first round in other companies. So AMD generally classified and took the students based on their CGPA.
Mhm.
So in case if student thinks that CGPA doesn't matter, I would definitely say it does matter in some case in some point in life. It did matter to me because I had a good CGPA. I was a 9 pointer in college, because
Mhm.
of which me and one of my other friend. Edith. So we both had good CGPA, and then they only took all the 9 pointers
Mhm.
for the
Mhm.
interview. So they called the students who were 9 and above for the interview. So it was only me and my friend who got into that interview panel. And then after getting into the interview panel, we had a technical round.
Mhm.
We didn't have any programming round in order to prove our technical skill, but then we had a technical interview round where your your seniors who work in the company, they come and ask you certain questions regarding data structures and object oriented programming and all such stuffs that are technically very, they will check how strong you are technically. And then second round was basically a normal HR round, and then third round was a managerial round where they ask you questions like where you will see yourself in 5 years and stuff like that. So yeah, basically I had to go to 3 rounds of interview. That answer your question.
Yeah, cool. So what kind of preparation you did in order to get into AMD?
Okay, so to be very honest, since this is our first company, and as I said before, I had to sit for 12 different companies because I didn't get selected in any of the companies. And then AMD was my 13th company. So as time went and as days went, when you sit for every company, you start preparing. Like you go to the company's website, you see what their strengths are, you see what they require. Like if you see, AMD is a processor graphics card creating company.
Yeah.
So and then there is no use if you sit and prepare for networking and other stuffs like that. So what I actually do is I go and research about the company. I will see what the company actually does, and then I start my preparation accordingly. So there was so if you see Amdocs, there's a company named Amdocs in which I got selected, but that was a dream company, not a super dream company. But that company mainly focused on networking. So especially when I sat for that interview, I had to sit and revise all my networking concepts,
Mhm.
and other concepts related to it. And then when I had to sit for AMD, I had to sit and study about how an operating system works, how revise every single thing, the data structures, and then your Python programming, your Java programming, every single thing.
Mhm.
So depends on the company that you sit for, basically.
Okay, okay. So, doing a research before you get into a company is something that is important. So, based on
Yes.
the analysis of that company's specification, we just try to learn based on that and then crack it.
That's true. And I would also like to give you another alternative tip that I personally use to crack my interview is we all know the website called Glassdoor. So it is a website where it is very useful for kids like us who really want to crack exam and then go and sit in interviews. So what actually happens in that website is people who already finished their interviews, they come and write their reviews telling that they asked so and so question, and then the manager was sweet enough to accommodate your skill sets. Because personally, when I went to interview, my strength was Java. I was not very strong in Python first. So and my resume also spoke about Java. But then when I went for the interview, their skill set requirement was Python.
Mhm.
But my manager was sweet enough to accommodate me, and he asked me questions from Java. But then when I got selected, I had to go and work in Python. So it is well and good, because I saw that Glassdoor thing. It gave me a confidence that it is enough to be strong in any one programming language. And there are managers who really accept your flaws, and then they ask questions regarding your skill sets. But at the end, I also promised him that I will definitely learn Python for him. I mean, we all know Python, but then the advanced concepts of Python and other stuff, I promised him during the interview, because it is a very bad practice telling that, sir, I don't know this topic, while you sit for an interview. It is always good that you give an assurance to your manager or to your TL telling that, sir, I am not pretty confident right now, but I will definitely learn on the process. So I was one such kid who had to give that answer, because they asked questions from Python also. And then my manager knew that, okay, she's strong in Java, then she'll definitely grasp Python easily. So it is enough to just master one programming language. Yeah, so
Yes.
Glassdoor really helped me in that thing. And then if you see Greek for Greeks, there is also a website. Even in that website, you see the questions that the company repeatedly asks.
Mhm,
For
mhm.
example, there were questions, I mean, there were people posting that they had to go these many rounds, and then they ask so and so questions, and then they will give you the percentage, like how many people, and then the company, how many times they have asked the question. So you can sit and prepare for those questions thoroughly, and then you can try to crack the interviews easily. So these were some preparation tricks and tips that I personally recommend, and I used it personally for myself.
Yeah. So even though we don't match those specific language, but we are strong in one and give them a assurance that we are ready to learn, then definitely we can crack it in a specific one.
Definitely, definitely. Very true.
Great. So did you have any questions for the interviewer?
Oh, yes. It is always a good practice to have some questions for the interviewer. And when I sat and prepared for my questions, that what I'm supposed to ask, it is very, you definitely don't know the person. You definitely don't know what he's actually doing. So it is very important to frame your questions in such a way that you will get the answer for what he's doing and how the company works. Your questions should be in such a way that you will get to know what the work culture is from the person who's interviewing you. And then you'll also know what are the roles that they are doing. So these were my constant questions. Like, I asked them about their work culture. How is the work culture in the company that they work for? I asked him to just walk me through one day what he does in the office, like what from morning till evening, from the time he logged in to logged off. So I asked him to, give me a small brief introduction of what task he does, and in which platform or which programming language he does, what roles are difficult in that company, and then what skill sets that he had, and what all the skill sets that he had to improvise after he joined the company. So such questions like not only work culture, you can even ask the interviewer about how the pay is. And then I mean, not so deep, but then you should keep it in a lighter note. And then if sometimes there are interviewers who are not very comfortable sharing their pay, and then there are sometimes people, they neglect such questions, but that is fine. But you can definitely ask them about their work culture, and what the company really does for the employees who work there. And then you can ask him to walk through the role that he does. So such questions like that, it will definitely, when you end up asking questions, the interviewer will also think that, okay, this person has made some preparation. If you don't ask any questions, they'll be like, okay, chalo, she is like a normal regular kid. You have to always put yourself in an outstanding position when you go for an interview. So try to bring that one point that makes you stand out alone. So it is very important to definitely ask questions to the person who is interviewing you.
Yeah, so in order to stand out of the crowd, we
Yeah,
should ask questions so that
yeah,
really.
that's true. Very true.
Yeah, cool. So what? So I hope you are working as an engineer in AMD.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the required skills for your
Mm-hmm.
role?
So if you see, I'm in software developer too.
Mm-hmm.
So there are actually roles. So I joined AMD as a co-op, as an intern.
Yeah.
To put it in simple terms, I joined AMD as a co-op, and then
Mm-hmm.
after 1 year of my internship, I got promoted to software developer two.
Cool.
So before, if you don't join the company as a co-op, you will have to go through SDE one, software developer role one, and then you will get promoted to two. Since I
Okay.
already finished 1 year in AMD, they directly got me promoted to SDE two. So when I actually, to be very honest, when I joined AMD, all I knew was Java
Mm-hmm.
and some parts here and there in database and basics of your UI, basic, literally like HTML, CSS kind of stuff. And then Java, I was good in Java. And then, so these were my skill sets when I joined the company. But then afterwards, when I accepted the offer letter, I had a word with my manager, and then the manager literally told me, Divya, you're supposed to, prepare all these things and then come and join our company, because they will definitely give you time. See, it is if you keep yourself transparent to the person, they will definitely try to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
So we all come across this myth telling that corporate is very poisonous and stuff like that, but till this second nothing has happened such such things to me. So I really told him, I told my manager, sir, I only know these skill sets. Is there anything that I have to learn from my side? So at that time only my manager came, and then he told me personally, Divya, see, we are working in so and so backend, so you will definitely have to learn C sharp, .NET framework, and then Python, and then you will have to know any one database language, SQL or SQLite or anything like that. So since my company is a product based company, we don't require any services from other companies. From our UI development till our backend till the deployment, every single thing is being taken care by AMD itself. So you can't reject any opportunity telling to your manager, telling that, sir, I'll only be working in back end, please don't give me any front end tasks, or please don't make me do any database tasks. You can never do such things in a product based company, because the manager will make you dip your fingers in every single paint. He will ask you to do UI, he will ask you to do backend, he will ask you to work with databases, and it is more, he will literally ask you to even do testing also. So the best part is when you join as a professional. When I was an intern, I somehow survived with Java, but then when I joined as a full-time employee, so my manager requested me to learn C sharp, .NET framework, Python, and one database language, and then he gave me an ample amount of time. He gave me 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and then afterwards I had to do some certifications which the company will provide, and then it was all good. And then now my skill set, if you ask now my current skill set, I'm definitely good in Python, Java, Angular, and then JavaScript. And then if you see, I can do .NET framework. So since this is a product based company, even in UI, I do Angular and Node.js. So since this is a product based company, that's what I'm trying to say. they will make you like a full stack developer from the front till the back.
Yep.
You will understand the entire flow. Though you join as a noob, they will they will definitely make you not a pro, but they will push you to the process of becoming a pro eventually.
Okay, so it's all about like you should be ready to learn and transparent
Definitely.
so that people will definitely help you in the corporate world in order to enhance your skills.
Definitely. That is so true.
Okay, so yeah, so what are the advice that we would give to people who are just starting out as a fresher?
Their career as a fresher or sitting for an interview.
Interview as well as career as a fresher.
Okay, the main advice that I would, I mean, it is not like an advice. I will definitely tell what flaws I had, and it definitely people can connect with it. So basically, I was a biology student in school days, and then I got, I actually cleared my VIT entrance exam, and then I got into some engineering college like everybody else. It was all our parents' push. But then after coming to engineering, I really suffered very much. I mean, my friends will definitely agree with it, because there are days I sat and cried that I didn't know programming, I didn't know coding. That switch from a biology background to a computer science background was so difficult for me. But then, as you rightly mentioned, you should definitely have a mind to learn. And then I would also suggest that one single failure will not stop you at that same point. As I said, I sat for Intel, Amdocs, whatnot, SAP labs, literally every single company that came to my college. But if I would have lost my hope and faith whenever I didn't get selected, I wouldn't have reached AMD. And I'm really, really happy that I am at this point, stepping out of my comfort zone and then learning new stuff. It was pretty hard for me, like anybody else. It was really hard. But then I know for sure that there is a saying, hard work never fails. So definitely that thing really was true in my case, because every single night I sit to my mother and I cry to her, telling that we always have this, we can't call it jealousy, but then when you see all your other friends getting placed and then
Yeah.
you not getting placed, will definitely give you that anxiety that, man, what the hell, everybody is going and getting into some other company, but I, even after doing this much, I'm not getting placed in any of the company. That anxiety will definitely hit you so hard. So what I will personally recommend as a sister is, please put all your anxieties aside.
Hmm.
There is an opportunity for every single person who really works hard, and you just have to wait for your time. And when that time comes, you will definitely crack it. Maybe you had to go through all those 12 rounds
Hmm.
just to sit in the best.
Okay.
You never know what happens. So I will definitely tell that, please don't stop preparing for your interviews. Please don't lose your hope, and never ever compare it with others. Don't see that, okay, my friend got placed in a super dream company, I'm just in a regular company. No, don't do that, because on a long run, you never know, maybe your friend might still be working in the same super dream company and you could have reached Google.
Yeah.
We never know. So never compare, never stop preparing, and never, never lose hope. Because I know that it is very hard, but never lose hope. And then try to control your emotions. Whenever you're not feeling well, just don't go and tell your friends, telling that, Macha, I'm not feeling well, da. Because at the time of placements, there is no friends, there is no enemies. It is
Okay.
only you and yourself.
Okay.
Because I know friends in my college, no hard feelings, but then, I mean, we were all good friends, but then at the time of placements, we all come to know our true colors, right?
Okay.
Including myself and then including others. So it is only you, your preparation, your family. Just if you're not feeling well, if you're not cracking something, just convey it to your parents and then take some time. Keep your mind relaxed and then start preparing. Someday you will land at the job that you really wanted to. So never share your emotions with others while you're in that placement process, because you never know who genuinely cares for you getting placed, and you never know who's backbiting you and having that jealousy. So it is better not to tell anybody what you're preparing, how you're preparing. Keep it with yourself. Just prepare, and then someday you will land in a good place that you dreamt of.
Yeah. The process may be quite long, but still,
Yes. Yeah.
wherever you go, Definitely
True.
you will.
Yes, true. Very true.
Cool. So thank you so much. So it was like kind of you just explained each and everything, like each and efforts that you took in order to explain your answers were like awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya. Thank you for your time.